All right, so next session. Now we'll talk about Industry 4.0 and robotics on a very, very high level. So we invited our partner, the Triana Group and Factovia, and Vincent is with us. Hello, Vincent.
Hello. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you for connecting. Here. Thank you very much for the invite.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing us new and exciting content in the scope of digital transformation. I know there are many different things that we can learn from you, and I like to, get it started if that's okay. So, if you are ready, you can share your screen. We have about up to 20 minutes, and then we'll also get some Q&As, and we can move forward. Let me stop
to share the screen. Right. Oh, you've got my screen, is it?
You can share your screen if that's okay. No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Maybe I have to. Okay, I have.
Okay, it's coming up now. It's coming up now. Okay, perfect. Now we can see. Floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. So I've got 20 minutes to present you a very broad topic, very interesting. At least many people are using Industry 4.0, and I wanted to share with you some insights today. Let's go to the next slide. We're presenting the Triana Group today, and myself, I'm part of the Industry 4.0 experts. Today, we're going to present also collaborative robots with the partner Nerio. This is an educative robot that helps people to onboard on programming robots rapidly for prototyping. We also have Kenda, which is a real-time video analysis. We will see how it fits into the landscape of Industry 4.0. And also Camilla. Camilla system is an IoT secured with a blockchain system. And we will do some integration. We'll see how it all comes together using one real use case. So Vincent Tavenkam, I'm a CEO of Factovia, and we're going to analyze, for example, a true use case that is, for example, the railway, the train that are off the track and they go and they have accidents. And when we have got a train crash, we want to investigate and go deep and to try to see the mechanical elements that failed. Why does that fail? We want to check also the QA that have passed or not. And if it passed, we want to see what kind of test we performed. Maybe someone was fiddling with the test and a wrong test, it has been made passed. Maybe it's a real test that passed, but we've got other external factors that make the train goes into a crash. So how can we ensure that the entire traceability is there and no one was playing with the data? So that was the example. And now the idea that we can have is let's talk about capability. As a factory manufacturer of train, I want to have the capability of train crash my train and then gather all the information of the crashes with the cameras, with the accelerometers, with the sensors, and so on and so forth. We collect those huge amount of data. For sometimes it lasts 40 years, sometimes for flights, for military flights, it could last 60 years, 80 years. So we want to gather all this and ensure no one has the ability to modify that in case we want to audit in a later date. To ensure no modification, 100% sure that no modification was performed. For that, what can we do? We talked about IoT roughly, so Internet of Things. We've got what we call Internet of Things locally. We will see what it is about. But the problem is that IoT is part of a broader overview, which is Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0, it has got many shapes and many appearance. Everyone has got its own definition of Industry 4.0. if you go to Google, you will see everyone does a different diagram, gives a different definition. So how can we, as a trained manufacturer, how can I trust one single truth? It's very difficult to believe into buzzwords. To do that, let's have another approach. Because first of all, the executive of the manufacturing plant, they don't have the time to spend their day to analyze research and developments. So they have to believe or to do another approach. Especially for the industry 4.0, it's invisible to the naked eye. We don't see it because generally it is digital. So because it's digital, you cannot touch, you cannot see, and anyone could tell you lies about how wonderful it is. Just give us your data and we will do some prediction. Just buy our machine, Industry 4.0, and you will have wonderful results. So don't do that. Don't judge the Industry 4.0 from its cover. Don't judge a book from its cover. It's as if I was saying that, okay, on my mobile phone, on my smartphone, I have installed Netflix app, and I can use it with the 4G to receive the video. It's not because you've got Netflix app on your mobile phone that you have 4G internet broadband. It's not because you buy the latest cobot for your factory that you are Industry 4.0. It's a broader approach. Industry 4.0, I saw so many customers claiming that, yes, we're Industry 4.0 because they purchased the latest software. They purchased or they hired the most expert IoT 4.0 expert. It's not about that. It's 4.0. It's about leveraging new use cases. New use cases. It's the richness of the use cases. It's as if before you had a regular knife, and now you end up with a Swiss military army knife. So with hundreds of blades, and you've got because of the amount of blades, it's up to you to think about what you can do with that. And the range is enormous. 4.0, it's about agility, an end-to-end agility. Why am I saying that? Because, for example, you shouldn't just be an expert in cobot and have an agility in moving parts around. It's not good enough. And because your next neighbor will be, for example, the SAP that does the ERP of the system, and Cadence and is the orchestrator of the manufacturing. If it's agile, if SAP is agile on its own, it's not enough. Everything should be agile and everything should work all together from one end to another. From one end, which means, for example, the robots, up until the SAP, until the very edge of the factory, and to the cloud, and to the boss that uses his mobile phone. And from his mobile phone, he can see in real time what happens in his factory or the factory he manages worldwide. And within a blink of an eye, he could perform some actions on his mobile phone, and this action will be propagated back to the factory, back to the robots, back to the line of the manufacturing. So this is agility end to end. You should have a broad overview and a broad knowledge of the other of your other pairs. Otherwise, you are agile on your own, and it's what we call a silo. So we should break all the silos in Industry 4.0. For that, and make the invisible things visible, you should stop. You should stop endless meeting. Endless meeting, obviously, Some meetings are obviously necessary, but sometimes, unfortunately, I saw so many customers spending 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in meetings without any actions done. You shouldn't believe buzzwords. You shouldn't spend a lot of money in expensive concepts. Buying the latest big robots will not make you Industry 4.0. So you should start, you should start doing the best practices. That is the ABC of the project management. For example, using Lean Startup Canvas that you can see here, you should identify the problem, the customer segment, the unique value proposition of the digitalization of the end-to-end solution that I was talking about. And then you should deploy as soon as possible. It's not about all the idea. Obviously, doing the Lean Startup Canvas is just about the brain and thinking, but the thinking should be followed soon after with the deployment, soon after with the MVP, minimum viable product, with something that you can touch, that you can deploy, that you can see and have feedbacks and share with the customers and share with the operators in the factory. Maybe they will say, yeah, that's good, or this is totally stupid idea. And from that stupid idea, you will rearrange, obviously, the Lean Startup Canvas and then make a better approach of the Lean Startup Canvas and then redeploy into a minimum viable product. Once you've got a minimum product MVP, you can touch it, it's tangible. You can see and try the product market fit. This should be your obsession. Is my solution fit to the market? Does that solve a problem? Because too many times I've got customers that are technology focused. They said, Vincent, please install me IoT and install me blockchain. Okay, we do that because we're a consulting firm. But the problem is that we will do that, and maybe we're ignoring a lot of money or a lot of unique value proposition that are just next door, and we forgot to think about it. Rather than being focused in a silo, we should share everything. Ideally, it's bizarre, but sharing even with your competitors. First of all, you share inside your company, you share with some partners, but what I found out is that my customer, they want to share with other customers, even sometimes if they are competitors. Because sharing, as opposed to the past, in the past, we were all closed source, everything was secret. But the problem is that your secret, it's not anymore a secret. It's everyone uses that kind of secret. You think that you are the only one who use that secret, and it's not. It's not true, unfortunately. So share with the other people, but don't share at a sales level, because sales level or journalistic level, it's the reality will be nicer than what is the truth. So share the pain that you've got with your peers, share your business needs, and then imagine and co-create some solutions with your peer, with other companies. It's important because even if sometimes it's the competitor, your solution will be unique to your company. Even if your company has got 3 factories, your solution will be different from one factory to another. So don't be scared to share. Sharing is good because it makes it challenges your idea instead of being isolated in a silo. And then you should deploy. So how can you deploy very quickly? Some of my customers, they are manufacturing parts for factories, but themselves, they don't have a factory to try and test their invention. So what we've got here in the red, it's an acceleration platform. Sorry, it's a 4.0 platform that is like a miniature of a factory, and it is composed of real factory elements, real industrial elements, real protocols, real constraints, which means you can attach your real device onto that mini factory, and reproduce and find the problems as soon as possible, not in pre-production, not in production. It's too late and it's more expensive. So find the problems as soon as possible. And then to scale worldwide, you should have a measurable confidence. Okay, you can say, okay, I'm confident, 80% confident that it's gonna work worldwide. How can you get this confidence? Is again, by sharing with other people, sharing with trusted partners. Don't take any random partners that claims that they are the best in artificial intelligence, or they are the best in I don't know, IoT edge. Just believe in your peers, in the other company that have got that voted onto that partner. So if a partner has a bad grade, obviously don't trust too much this partner. This is
by the way,
yes?
Sorry about that. Yeah, we have like about 3 minutes left, if that's okay.
Yes, sure. It's
and we have questions for you.
Great. It's nearly finished. So this is an example of a deployment. For example, to answer your the need previously that the train company has got to make train crashes. So we can use robots that train crashes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 every day, all year round. And then we gather all the information into a mini factory. We authenticate, we ensure that the data hasn't been fiddled with using blockchain. And IoT Edge in this box with a lock here will be able to process the data and to correlate, to cross the data with the camera here, high definition camera, and everything will be sent into the cloud in a secure place. Once in a secure place, we will send the data in real time to the customer. He will be able to visualize real-time KPIs and take decision. But once the decision is taken from the tip of his finger, the decision will go back to the cloud, go down to the factory. If he has got 20 factories, it will go down to the correct factory, and it will eliminate some lights, for example, or it will stop some production lines, or any action you can think of. So this is a tangible solution that could be deployed within weeks. You don't have to wait for 1 year or 3 years of meetings. The conclusion is that think big, act small, start small, and go fast into Industry 4.0. You can identify the improvements. You have got plenty of solutions into IoT and 4.0 solutions, but you should trust your kind of family general practitioner that has got a general overview, and he will rely and redirect you into some specialists that are trusted into his team. This is the conclusion. Thank you very much. And let's talk about the questions.
Yes, let's do that, Vincent. Thank you so much for informative presentation. Very insightful. Thank you. And we have also questions. So earlier we talked about digital transformation. We talk about different technologies. So what you just mentioned in terms of Industry 4.0 and the technologies that can be implemented at different organizations, actually very critical. So in that scope, we also get some questions. For example, one of the questions that we get is about Industry 4.0. So why is it taking so much time to take place? Because that's, I think, a legitimate question in a way.
Yeah,
as we receive it, right? So we've been talking about Industry 4.0 for a while, which is very exciting, and we're 100% with it. So from your point of view as an expert, why is it taking so much time to take place?
Yeah, we can look at that at many possible scale. Worldwide, for example, we don't go at the same pace worldwide in the US, in France, in Germany, in China. So China, they will go really quick. For example, producing it's the heart of the producers of all the devices and all the objects worldwide. In France, we've got some bureaucracy, as many people know. So we know that the standard appeared 6 years ago, especially in Germany. German people, they invented for example, OPC-UA standards. that has been formalized in the US with a foundation. So we've got many actors worldwide, and then it's up to the country to adopt the pace that they want to transform their own country. For example, when I go to Germany, even 5 years ago, when I go to the flight transit, I saw the advertisement, Industry 4.0, and let's do this and that, go to Asia. It's a lot of advertisement. So people are aware of that. So this is first answers. At school in Germany, the students, they don't just discover factory or industry when they've got, I don't know, 16 or 18. They discover that at early age. So in France, for example, we just got, I don't know, sometimes you got only 14 and we discover, okay, oh, this is the environment of work. So we've got the culture that is different. This is at a large scale. And then once you are in a factory, you've got another problem, is that because you have to run all the time about OEE, which means the overall equipment effectiveness, you have to be very performant. You are running all the time. You don't have the time to stop, breathe, think about your innovation, and then, oh, let's try this and that. You don't have the chance to try, because if you try and if that doesn't work, every single error could cost $500,000 per error. So the bosses and the execs are really scared about changing. So we still have Windows XP running sometimes. So which means it's very hackable. So the hackers are very glad that people don't change their OSs. So it's a question of taking the time to think and read and exchange with other people. And that's why we've got this platform of exchange. We don't have the time, the big bosses don't have the time to read the news, but they can take some time and talk to their peers. So that's some answers.
Great, thank you so much. Can you also, finally, before we end our session, can you also tell us about edge computing? What is it?
Yes, edge computing. Very oftentimes in the past, we've got cloud computing. So I was one of the pioneers using cloud. Everyone was, yeah, well, what is it, cloud? So we were promoting cloud. The problem of the cloud computing is that because everything runs in the cloud and the factory runs down into earth, so we've got a latency between the two. And the latency, beyond the latency, you have the cost. So it costs some money to send the data to the cloud and then get the data back. So what we do is it's as if the image is that you cut a little bit of your cloud and you bring this little bit of cloud into your factory directly, which means it's a mini cloud that runs into the factory. And those two clouds can talk together when we've got internet. And when we don't have any more internet, each of the cloud separately could live their own life. So sometimes we call that a digital twin. And then when we've got internet back together, they've got a mechanism that solves the issues and the differences between the two. So that's a kind of IoT edge. How does that help? Is that when you don't have internet, the factory still runs, and the factory could take decision on its own, analyze AI, through AI, analyze some images, analyze vibrations, predict some breakdowns, and then just send just the conclusion to the cloud. So the conclusion, it's very small. It doesn't cost a lot. Send the conclusion to the cloud. So that's the edge computing, and that's the advantage of the computing for a factory. We can apply that to many other cases.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Vincent. So if you remember earlier today, we talked about digital transformation, right? So how to implement it, and we talk about real life use cases of some of our systems, for example. So as discussed earlier, so for the digital transformation, everything starts with the mindset. Everything starts with the leadership, believing in the transformation and motivating the teams accordingly. So in terms of Industry 4.0, you will say that's the same process in terms of leadership, in terms of having the mindset that's needed. what would you say based on your experience as you have been seeing in the marketplace?
Yeah, the best transformation I see is a transformation that is agile and that is open to the failure. So think big, act small, fail fast. It's very important to this word, fail fast, learn rapidly, because no one has got the answer worldwide. Even if you talk to your peers, he will give you advices that will not be exactly applicable to your case. So you have to be prepared to fail fast. And to fail fast, you have got to think about failing fast from the top down and from the bottom up. And the best transformation I see, and the quickest, the fastest, and now it's been since 2016 in production worldwide in the medical area. It was this this ability to acknowledge, okay, I have to fail. It's bad. It's frustrating. We have conflict internally. So internally, it's a lot of conflict. But how can we solve the conflict? Okay, let's ask some experts. So sometimes we've got psychologists that comes into the factory and then guide people, some coaches to remove the problem. It's more really, again, soft skill problems. It's not a technology. The technology is complicated, but the most impediment, the biggest impediment is the people itself. So we should fix the people, the mindset of the people. And for that, it's from the very bottom down to the operational people that have got to be open-minded for the failure and act accordingly. So, and yeah, that's the best ever and the quickest transformation I can recommend. Be prepared to fail.
Okay, this sounds great. Thank you so much, Vincent, for the insights. Yes, definitely. I mean, that's a process eventually, and yes, that's what we have been learning during these sessions as well, moving forward. So it is important to share. It's important to be able to share this experience with our ecosystem, with our attendees today, so that is critical.
The silo is a big problem. If you've got too much silo, so be prepared to fail, because too many silos, you cannot quickly put the solution into place. So you will fail. You will say, okay, too many silos. Let's break it.
Vincent, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your insights. So I also have your contact information on the screen, as well as Jabriel's. So in case any of our attendees would like to continue this conversation, they can get in touch with you. And I thank you for your time, and thank you for your sharing your insights, and thank you for your partnership.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.